Hello everyone and welcome back to Collection Log Progress, the series where we try to fill in as many log slots as possible. In the last episode we went to Zora and then explored a variety of the minigames that OSRS has to offer. Today we will return to one of those minigames and hard focus in on it, the Shades of Morton. After that, we'll see where we go. The first thing we had to do was buy ourselves the remains that were used to burn into keys to unlock the chests. After which we had to start going through the arduous process of lighting each of these urium remains, which takes a while as you have to go through this process one by one and doesn't allow you to use two burners at once, which is a little unfortunate. To begin with, I started opening them one at a time, going over back and forth, until I realised you could let them stack up on the pillar, although I wouldn't recommend doing this too much as they do despawn after a little while. After a little while, my friend Schlack here joined me, which made the whole experience a little easier, in a way that having a friend nearby to do an activity often does. This overall took me around 2.5 hours to get through burning all the remains and ending up with the keys appropriate for the grind. That being these keys right here, or 424 of them if I calculated that right. After which I've headed down to the Shade Crypt to open up all the keys, so I'm going to fast forward through that and let you guys see what we got. For our first unique we get the gold lock here. Here we spawn and end up fighting one of the undead zealots. Originally I didn't know what this was, thinking that similar to the lumberjack outfit this is how we got the pieces. Eventually I discovered that it wasn't and was just a trap to protect the chests. Using my diary cape, I teleport to the bank located at the Shanty Pass. I know the crafted cape is faster, but I'm yet to get that. When I do, I'll start using that bank. Then once I've got all my stuff prepared, I use my Morton legs to teleport to Bird or Rot. I take the coffin with me here in the gold lock in order to upgrade the coffin. Here I just right click on damp to get the locks menu up and apply the gold lock to the coffin. After a couple more inventories, we get the Tree Wizard's Journal, which when explored gives us the rune scroll of Swamp Bark, which when read allows us to make and create Swamp Bark armor, which is a variant upon the Split Bark armor. Not even a full inventory later, and we get the Bloody Notes. Similar to the Tree Wizard's Journal, you can use this to get the rune scroll of Bloodbark to make Bloodbark armor the Blood Altar. How many more times do you think I can say blood in one sentence, eh? Here I get a dupe of the Bloodbark scroll, which I find a bit weird since there is kind of no reason to have it on your account, and it doesn't even sell for much, so it's a bit odd that. Also, it doesn't even show up on the collection log, so I don't know why they give them out like this. Oh well. Something I am happy to get though right here is the Zealot's Boots, the first of the 4 pieces obtained from the gold chests. These come out in a certain order. I believe it's boots, hats, legs, chest, but I could be wrong. And they are the main reason why I'm continually grinding the gold chests. After 2 more inventories, we are graced with the Zealot's hat. When we've got the full set, it's similar, as I mentioned earlier, to that of the Prospector or Lumberjack set, where when leveling up Prayer, you get a bonus to your XP. Unfortunately, it's not too useful, as the main prayer method involves doing it in the wilderness, and you wouldn't want to bring an untradeable outfit like this out there, as you would lose it upon death. Now, I'm not going to bore you with seeing the rest of those, because unfortunately, besides a couple of elite clues, we were not able to get any more. I even went back and bought an additional 300 keys in order to try and attempt my luck again, but unfortunately in that batch I only managed to receive 1 elite and no other items. This is an area which we will come back to later when I'm feeling more motivated, as not getting anything in those last 200 really took the wind out of my sails when it came to this minigame. But for anyone who's interested in the general loot, here's some screenshots of what we got. I wouldn't recommend this place as a moneymaker, and honestly with how much we lost, I don't know that I'd even recommend it as an elite clue farm. It may be the fastest theoretically, but with how much you're losing, you're better off doing something else like wilderness bosses, barrows, lava dragons, or basically any other way of gathering elite clues. Now, the area where I prefer to get my elite clues is here, at Venenatis. After going 6,194 kills before finally getting my KBD pet, I wanted to venture into the wilderness to have a go at one of those 1 in 2k pet chances. Venenatis is one of those. Located as one of the lowest level wildy bosses out of the main ones, not demi bosses. It has a 1 in 2,000 chance of getting the pet, a 1 in 256 chance of getting the pickaxe, and when wearing the Ring of Wealth, has a 1 in 50 chance of elite clues. These screenshots have been gathered over the past 2 or so years, as you may note by the time in the corner, and I'm still yet to get it to date. But with this as a record, you can see how much we've got. In screenshots where you don't see a drop on the floor, that means it's either probably gold ore or dark fishing bait, or a couple of other small time drops that I have removed from the visualizer on the ground tiles. In the beginning I didn't know about the 3-tick range spot, but over time I learn it and end up using it semi-permanently, as it puts you deep into singles and allows you quick access to teleporting. Whenever you see a looting bag on the ground, as a side note, that means I have just been PK'd, be it here or when doing a deep level clue step. Luckily I'm quite prone to taking clue boxes with me or knowing the trick about dropping clues beforehand. So there weren't many losses in that regard, but it was often annoying, as every time I died, especially once I started using the 3-tick method, I was losing at least 1,000 ether plus whatever supplies I had left. I will say ultimately though, it was worth it for the amount we earned back. And with that, we're coming quite close to the end of the screenshots. I just want to say this video was a nightmare to edit. To format over 1,400 screenshots near enough was a nightmare. But overall, you can see how far we've got. And at the end here, I'll show you a quick log showing so you can see where we're at. And also what I have got tracked in my loot tracker. Now, obviously, all of it isn't here, but you've just seen all of it, so it shouldn't be that bad. We got a lot of elite clues, and I'm sure we'll get more over time in our grind for the pet. Anyway, thank you for watching today's episode, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.